Shall we begin?
Rasuke here, salutations, and this is Klash Warlocke Watcher number 2. Yes, welcome back, and now what you're seeing is some more artwork, and I want to introduce Enzo. Here's a quick little picture of him here, as well as some manga panels and etc. So, work is being done, people, and things like that. So let's get right into it and keep this ball rolling. It's been a long hiatus in between writers, artists, and other things that are going on. So here is kind of like I would say like a 80% sketch of Enzo. So Enzo, as you can tell, young character. He's pretty much the protagonist of Klash Warlocke. And also, too, you see that he has dual swords. And in my universe that I've created of Klash Warlocke, there are different fighting styles and techniques, especially when you see another warrior or even another warlock. So you see him with dual swords. That usually indicates that he's a warlock of speed. So these swords that you see here are not his actual swords that are finalized. They're kind of a placeholder. There's some things about the swords I don't like too much, but for the overall look and feel of them, this is where we were going with his coat and jacket and things like that. Personality wise, which I will probably bring up again in another video, is very charismatic, fun loving, clever, reckless, and believe it or not, naive naive about quite a bit of things. So I'm gonna switch gears here and I'll show you some actual manga panels, manga art style instead of sketches. Well, no, sketches are included in there too, as well as I would say almost 90 to 95% completed artwork of what Klash Warlocke will look like. Okay, so check this out. What we see here, this is in a graphics program that we have up here, and you will see a close-up of Enzo. And what I really love about this is that this is pretty much 100%. I can't really say there's any changes I would do to this, but I didn't quite show all the manga panel, if you will, but I will zoom in, and what I will show you is the level of detail that I really like. That, like, there's the hair, the expression is awesome. You see the sweat, his eyes, the teeth, the tongue. Yes, I said the tongue. And the texture of his jacket. But yeah, this is Enzo, and I absolutely love it. So, like, once again, covering up what's going on, but you'll see that more as we talk more about Klash Warlocke. Now, the next picture I'm going to show, if you remember Klash Warlocke Watcher number 1, I brought up this sketch and kind of the ideas and what's going on, and these three ladies of the court, and this kind of like a dojo area, and some people here. Well, that's finished. So I'm going to show you the finished artwork manga of panel of that. So there it is. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see even more detail. So there's the sky, the trees, the steps, people walking up. There's a guard right there. And there are the three ladies right there. Ladies of the court. And what I love too, and I'm going to zoom in even more. Let's really get a little bit close. Is there are three different hairstyles, which I really like, so you can really tell them apart. And of course, they will have three different personalities. that sort of thing. So, and how even their shoes, like we wanted not just the generic, type, like each one has a particular style and personality, and their clothes fit that in this fantasy world. Now, I'm being really shaky, so I apologize. I'll stop, and I'll zoom out a little bit. If you remember me talking, this is Sangre Yago. She's kind of key to the story. She's, if you're curious about that, there's some images of her there. She looks a little different here. I understand that. But once again, from sketches to development to me and the team talking and the flow of her personality and things going on in the world, there's that. Now, these characters you see in the background, these are other warriors, other warlocks. Some aren't warlocks, some are bounty hunters, trainers, special martial artists, things like that. So I just wanted to give you that. So let me zoom all the way out so you can see the full page. Zoom out one more time. There we go. So that's the full page. That's a full page, and that is, I would say, just like what you saw with Enzo, pretty much 100% done. Now, here's a new sketch. So we're working. So full page. This will just be one full page, so there won't be any separation or anything like that. So you got a female swordsman right there, and I'm going to tell you that these are two generals, and there's the king, and this is kind of like a exterior that kind of covers, it's the middle of the day, it's hot, got the shade and everything. He is the king, of course. So let me zoom in a little bit so you can just get too much an idea of, look and feel, hairstyles. The generals, one's more armored, one seems to be a little bit more, I would say, less armored and more casual. You could probably guess. Like I said, we want the clothes to also tell a story about the character. And there's the throne of the king and that sort of thing. So let me... And I'll probably show the end result of that without, giving some things away. I don't want to give all the secrets away, but I do want to show you progression, where we start and where we kind of finish with some of this. And then finally, here's a weapon. Now, in Klash Warlocke, certain weapons, along with certain types of objects, there are shards, there are cubes, and there are orbs, determines different powers. So, not to get long-winded, but this is a claymore sword, and like I said with Enzo, he has dual swords, which would make him a warlock of speed. If you're using this sword, you would be of might. So very powerful, very strong attacks. And there's some other abilities and skills that I haven't got into, but believe it or not, even the weapons themselves will have their own kind of skills or abilities along with the warlock, or in tandem, if you will. It will have, some of them will have their own name and history, and in the manga, and let me zoom in as I'm talking here. I could show you guys some greater detail of the hilt, of the shard crystal, of the blade, and of course, in an action scene, probably won't be as detailed, but you get the point. You will see that, and we will be doing this for pretty much a lot of main characters. Heroes, villains, and even neutral characters. We will we will showcase their weapons, because they will include into their personality and how they fight. And in some cases, some weapons have some particular quirks, quirks, or specialities, if you will. So anyway, that is what's going on, people. There is work being done. So let's go ahead and close out this episode. Well, that is it, people. for episode 2. Once again, thanks for taking your time to get through this. I know the beginning stages are always a little difficult. There are ups and downs, but anyway, we are making strides. You will see more artwork, and you will see more of the world that is Klash Warlocke. We're talking weapons, we're talking creatures, we're talking kingdoms, we're talking about some action scenes and things like that, but we're even talking about, let's say, how the world functions. You know what I mean? There, believe it or not, is certain technology, whether it be magical or other means. There are other creatures that have kingdoms and things like that, so we're going to explore all of those things without giving everything away, of course. And of course, merchandise in the future. So anyway, thanks for checking this out. This is Rasuke.